Hi everybody. I'm Marco, and I'm a weird developer because during the day I write code, I drive data, I publish data, but what I really care is my users. I really do care about how they face my applications, what they feel about my applications, the application that I work with other people. So, what we are talking about tonight is perceived performances. And perceived performances is nothing but how expectation meets reality. Okay, that's it. We are going through an agenda. So we try to give a more formal definition of what perceived performances are. We are going through what is like to wait and what is involved in the waiting experience for us, human being. Then we step into coding. I'm a front-end developer, so I will show you some front-end code, basically links and how we can work out the waiting time during links. And then we go through some cool tips, so how we can use the information that we see tonight to make our life a bit easier, especially at the office. Before we start, a few days ago, it was a really, really important date in human history, I would say. It was October 21st, 2015. Anybody knows what I'm talking about? Back in the future, back to the future. So, I want to take this to you, and this is a skateboard and this is a skateboard. Okay? This is the vision of the skateboard that a great guy, George Lucas, had in 1985. And it was about a past skateboard, a skateboard from 1955, and a future skateboard from 2015. Everybody got one of those at home today, I guess. Okay. So my question for you is, which one is the best skateboard? Which one is the faster? Which one gives you the best experience, the best performances? The old crap wooden skateboard with iron wheels, or the future skateboard without wheels? This stuff floats, so there is no friction. It's like floating in the air. Okay. Please, which one is the best for you? Old crap, new one. Future.
The one that exists.
The one that exists. That's actually a cool answer. I want you to keep this question in mind because we're going to solve this thing later on. But for now, let's try to give a formal definition of what perceived performances are. As we said in the beginning, perceived performances is a function of made out three components, three variables. We have performances, which is a measurable unit, something that you can give formal measurement. It's like loading time is the measurement that we are going to talk tonight for a web page to load. We have expectation, so what me, the end user, expect to have out of using experience. So when I face an application, when I drive a car, what do I expect to have? What do I expect? What is the value that I want? And the user experience. So how I get to use the application in my case. The sum of those, the function of those will give out a value, will give out some kind of number. And this number will define if I will be happy out of an experience or unhappy. And that's what we are trying to face tonight. We will talk about loading times because it's the root of all the evil around internet. You want something and you have to wait for it. Why waiting sucks? What is the cause of the feeling so angry when we have to wait? Well, it's basically your brain. When you do something, when you do an action, when you work, when you listen to me, when you watch a movie, when you do, your brain is active and you don't perceive time, or the perception of time that you have is really, really in a second level, you don't really care about it. Time goes fast, okay? When you are inactive, when you have nothing to do, when you are I don't know, waiting when you are at a red light on your car and you have nothing to do but waiting for an event to happen, all your brain is focused on the time that doesn't pass. Time slows down in that moment, and there's nothing you can do. That's why waiting sucks, because when you wait, you are not active, and your brain focuses only on the waiting activity, and you have no way to control it. You are passive in this activity. So what is the trick here to try to switch from a bad user experience, from a bad experience of waiting into a good one? It's not to make you wait, it's to fool the user into not waiting, into doing something. That's what we can do. We can tweak the user experience. The only part that a developer has great control over it. So your brain is not passive, but is active. I give you something to do, so you don't perceive the time that passed. Okay, let's go into demo time. That's code working. Let's hope it works. As I said in the beginning, I'm a front-end developer. I do web pages for a living, web applications, and web applications more or less are made of links. So here I have behind this link a super fast application. Okay, I clicked, nothing happened. Anybody had experienced that situation in life? You click, you have an expectation, you want to use it, and nothing happened. That's life. That's what you have on the internet. Actually, it's a little bit slower than what you expected. At the end, you have your application. It works. Check now is approved. So everything is good. But waiting sucks. That's what makes us feel really, really bad. So let's try. Yeah. Let's try to dig into this problem and destructure it and understand it and fix it. Links are the foundation of the web. Web is a composition of documents, and with a link you can jump from one document to the next one, following a meaning that you want to compose for yourself. So the user interaction is this. I put my mouse over an area, a visual area, I click, and the content changes, and I access my content. Okay, so this application works on my machine, so this experience of a link that fast is because there's no internet involved. Okay, in a real life, I click something and I wait, and the content doesn't come, or it takes some time. There is latency. You may be on your phone on 3G, driving, so there is also changing GSM cell, and you slow down. Loading time are unpredictable. It can be faster, it can be slower. You cannot tell in advance what the loading time can be. You have, luckily, for a normal link, you have an indicator. Have you noticed? A small indicator that tells you that you are waiting. It just points out that you are waiting. And that contributes to your unhappiness. So we developers have power on the UX. What did we do? We used technology to speed up things. Okay, here in this talk, I don't want to talk about server-side improvements or how to speed up things. I will touch it briefly later on, but what I'm focusing in how to use UX to improve the experience, not the real performance. I don't care about it. So we use this first and only technical solution to reduce the latency. We use AJAX instead of a normal link. Without going into deep talking, it's loading a page without refreshing the whole browser. It's, in average, a bit more faster. Okay, it's something around 10% faster of a normal HTTP link, but it has a big drawback. There's complete no feedback, no visual feedback of the action. There is not even the small little indicator on the tab. So when I apply this technology, this is a technical solution that I am applying, I have a better experience. I have a fastest experience, but without a visual feedback. So chances are that I feel even worse because I don't know what's going on. So we take a little step forward and we try to improve it. How do we improve it? We improve it with a loading spinner. Classic things like that. So during the waiting time, we show something to the user. We take back the idea that the browser implements, the indicator, the loading indicator, and we make it more visible. Okay, this is the first piece of code that I want you to see. If you are familiar with jQuery, this is the code that I'm talking about. Basically, we step into the link, we take control over the link, we send our AJAX request, we show a spinner, and we remove the spinner when the request is solved. It's pretty simple. It's few lines of code. This code, I basically wrote this code in a lot of websites since 2006 to 2 years ago, like that. Basically without any difference from this code. Is very, very dumb. It's dull, not dumb. It doesn't contain any magic. It just shows a spinner and removes a spinner. Okay, it was good back in the early 2000s because normal connections were so slow that even if you improve it of a bit, everybody was happier. But it was still not the best possible solution. So, because of this talk, I tried to imagine ways to make this experience a bit nicer. Because the point is to fool your brain, to do not let you understand that you're waiting. What can we do? The simplest possible way is to take this spinner and make it more interesting. Okay, so instead of showing a simple CSS animation, the cubic, what if I show you a GIF? Okay, a just more complicated thing, a more something that is technically easier. It's way more easier. It's just a GIF. I found it online. It's free, but it has a more complicated experience for you because there are clouds involved. Clouds is a kind of natural phenomenon that people like. Basically, nobody hates clouds, or nobody can hate watching clouds like that. Your brain, do you hate clouds?
No, stop.
No, but come on, those work. And also Chuck Norris like it. So the point is that it's a more complicated picture that your eyes are seeing, and you perceive the time less. Okay, that's just a very, very simple tweak. Okay, can we do more? Can we? So, because the point is still make you do something while you wait. What if we can play a game during the waiting time? That's me being really active. Okay, I'm playing the game. It's also quite difficult. The page is loaded. I just got a notification, so I can still play the game. When I finish the game, I can decide to access my contents. Okay, those are, of course, just provocation for you. It's how can we really, really go beyond the normal usage of links and web pages to fool ourselves into do not waiting. But there are real problems with user experiences. So we have this AJAX, we have this loading. It's what we normally see in web pages. Okay, it had worked well when connections were pretty slow. But today, connections at home are like I have 1,000 megabits a second. It's crazy. I didn't expect to have it here. So things are fast. I work with people, backend developer, or some people that makes data appear so fast that sometimes it can be too fast. Let's try this with you. Average page waiting time is 2.5 seconds. Okay, I click, I see the spinner, and I access the content. That's what I expect. what if the time, the loading time is really, really low? What if the performance, the real performance, the loading performance are too good? I have this. The spinner flips before my eyes and goes away damn fast. 0.25 seconds today is not impossible to achieve. It's actually pretty common to achieve when you deal with WebSockets or really, really fast data APIs. And the user experience of my simple AJAX implementation goes like that. The loading spinner flips before my eyes. I don't even have the time to understand what is going on before my eyes. If I don't understand what's going on, I feel bad. Why? I feel bad because I think I'm smart, and everybody do. Everybody thinks they're smart. And if you don't understand what's going on, you think that somebody else fucked up. You don't think that you don't understand. You don't even conceive that you don't have the time to understand. You just think, oh, this is not working good, okay? And so we are in a really, really strange situation in which slow loading time is bad, fast loading time is bad too. Both causes me to have problem facing the application. Both makes me unhappy. So we already tried to fix slow loading time. Now let's jump into try to fix loading times that are too fast. So let's try to slow down things. What can we do? Again, simple solution first. So technical solutions, we buy time. We have a page that loads too fast. What do? We wait before to remove the spinner. We just cheat on the user. So even if I have 0.25 seconds, I let the spinner spinning for 1 second. So I give the user enough time to understand what's going on. Okay. Technically, on a technical level, let's take a look at the code here. On a technical level, this is basically stupid. When the AJAX call solves, so when I receive the data, the only thing I do is I wait 1 second more before to remove, to hide the loading curtain. This is in JavaScript. I just set timeout and I wait 1 second. It can't be more simple. Okay, it works quite well actually because for short loading time, it gives me the time to understand what's going on. For very slow loading time, okay, it's already slow. 1 second more or less doesn't really make a difference. Okay, but it does. Okay, as a developer, I know that it does, so I don't like it. But let's investigate another possibility. What if instead of buy time, we try to sell time? I mean, we are here to sell. We work to make money. So I added 1 second before, and you were quite happy. What if? Let's run this demo with you. What if instead of adding 1 second and cheat on you, I add 7, 8, 15 seconds, and I give you an advertisement, and I ask you to buy me a beer? So you can click on this. Okay, let's do it again. I can click, and I can go on a page in which you can send me money. Last time I did this talk, I actually received money from 2 guys. So let's make it 3 tonight, okay? Again, this is for me more or less like the game thing. Is how far can we go, taking a simple concept and stressing it out without a technical solution. We are about to face a technical solution that solves the problem or tries to, but this is non-technical. This is simple. The code is very much like the set timeout. Actually, is the very same. Okay, there is the set timeout, and I wait 5 seconds. The difference is that I show an image inside a link to my PayPal page instead of showing a spinner. So there's no technical thing. But if you have an advertisement, if you have some text to read like this, you read it. You don't wait. I give you stuff to do. You can read, you can take a decision, you can perform an action. The action loads in another window, so I don't modify your user experience when you come back. And I also can, have a beer from you. That's fine. let's go into more real solution, something that we can do to improve both slow and fast time. Animations. Animations come to rescue. We already saw the concept of showing a spinner, so it's keep yourself busy. Okay, we can improve the experience by adding animation to animation. So by applying fading in, out, before and after the spinning time, here there is 0.8 seconds of animation in the beginning, and in the end, I slow down your brain by understanding that it's waiting. Because things are changing before your eyes, you will look at it. You will just understand what's going on. You're not waiting. That's simple, that's really, really trivial. It's a CSS animation on a technical level. It's extremely simple. There's no motivation to do not do that on your web pages, and you will buy a good 0.8 seconds. So the code here still implemented the set timeout, the buying time solution. So it makes things go slower, but because of the animation, you give a little bit of better experience to the user. How to put together slow loading time, fast loading time. We have the spinner with this fade in, fade out. It's good for slow loading times. But we saw that if the page loads too fast, basically the spinner makes us feel bad. Okay. The only solution that I see here is we don't show the spinner for fast loading time. That's quite trivial to me. So how does it work? 1.5 seconds is slow, I show the spinner. Yeah. 0.5 seconds is fast, I don't show the spinner. So when the page is fast enough, I don't bother you with spinning or stuff. You don't need the information that you're waiting, because 0.5 or something is not yet enough for you to be pissed off, basically. It's still good. Okay, does it make sense to you? The problem that I see is that how the hell can I know before time if the loading time will be fast or slow? That's basically the unpredictability of internet. We can go around this thing, cheating a bit, of course, with a technical implementation in which we simply, it's based on two pieces of code. We have the real data management code that basically starts the request and tells our little application that the request had ended, and a completely different piece of code that takes care of showing and removing the curtain. That part will wait, will be delayed. So if the loading time had solved before this delay time, we just don't do nothing. Okay. If this delay that I've set in 0.8 seconds up here, if this delay happened to trigger and the page is still loading, then it's time to show the spinner. In that case, I have to take care to show the spinner for a minimal amount of time so the user can understand what's going on. Okay, so we are improving our solution, because if the loading time is fast, below 0.8, which is quite good, we don't show nothing. The user gets a page like that. For very slow loading time is like before, we show the spinner. We have a really, really little amount of a range of loading time between 0.8 and 1.3 seconds, in which we add some time to the loading spinner to make the user understand what's going on. What is bad with this solution? This is bad. If I have an average 0.8 seconds, look, I click, nothing happened, and then something happened. Or if I go with the 1.5, nothing happened, and then something happened. There is, let's see if it's here, yeah. There is a basic, simple understanding of how a normal human being perceives time and what is conceived to be immediate and what is considered to be delayed. So it's basically the threshold in which you understand something with instantaneous, slightly instantaneous, or it starts to be annoying. Okay, so 300 milliseconds is what is considered to be acceptable for a real-time experience. Okay, it's the delay that we have on mobile device when we touch it, when we do a touch action on a web page on mobile. 0.8 is you see it's basically in the range of I am close to lose focus on the task that I was doing. So I was clicking a link, I was expecting a page to load. 0.8 seconds, I'm almost forget. I've also almost forgot what I was doing. Not for real, but I start to perceive that what I was expecting to see is not happening. Okay, the solution is it's still acceptable because in the moment I started to ask myself something, I have the answer. So I have the content. It's feeling a bit bad, but not too much. So, okay, it's kind of working. Can we do more? Yes, we can. We can combine different tricks to create a complete solution. So the delay, buying time for the user so the spinner is shown. We skip some time so we don't show the spinner for fast loading time. What did we talk about more? Animations. We can fill the gap of the first 0.8 seconds with an animation. So when I click, I animate the target of my click. My eye was already on that target. I make this thing to move a bit, and now I make it pretty visible here for obvious purposes. The animation just happened to do 0.8 seconds. So at the very moment you stop seeing the animation, and you have the content in this particular example. If the page loads faster, there's no problem. The contents appear faster. You're still watching the animation. It's nothing bad. For slow loading time, you have animation time, loading time with the fading. You put everything together. Your brain is just moving from one activity to the other, and you will perceive less time go by. Okay, that's basically what we can do on a web page. Still talking about simple code without taking into account crazy server-side optimization, just to make the user feel better. And that's what I mean by tweaking the UX, to reduce the gap from real performances and expectations. If I expect something to go fast, it's not a given that fast is good enough. But if I tweak the experience to change, to twist my expectations, so instead of give me speed, you give me continuity, you give me something to do, you don't interrupt my brain from doing something, I won't really care if something is fast, slow, or somewhere in the middle. That was for the demo. Yeah.
Do you have a real example of the spinner, or is that the real spinner? Like,
What do you mean the real spinner?
do you use that spinner in a production site, for example?
That one?
Yeah.
No.
No.
No, I try in a real production thing. I try to avoid completely the spinner, and today I try to use sliding in, sliding out animation for new content. So you buy time by sliding empty containers that will be filled with data even during the animation. So we can go further than that, but it's a bit more complicated. So this code, which is available on GitHub, is still extremely trivial. So it's kind of tricks that we can implement with almost no efforts. we can go way beyond. And that's actually interesting. So now, let's see some cool tips that I've collected in my experience. And it's more or less about using perceived performances knowledge to easy your life at the office. I had big troubles in the beginning of my career because I didn't know about that stuff. I learned it the hard time. So first, say no. Learn to say no. How comes? If you are a freelancer, people tell you to say yes. Okay. If you want to take money home, you should say yes. That's not true. And it's about expectation. In human relationships, when you betray the expectation, then you give a bad user experience of yourself to somebody. Okay? So if you keep saying yes to your customers, to your boss, to your wife, then the first time you say no, that's bad. That's really bad. Okay? So learning to say no in a good amount of time, in a really trade-off, a yes and no, will makes you will be able to tweak the expectation that other people have on yourself. This works on every level with human relationships. Okay, every level. Second, that's strictly related to development profession. Be able to demo 24/7. Normal development scenario is today. Okay, we work with GitHub. I think everybody of you work with GitHub, more or less. How does it work? You clone your repository, you have, okay, it's beautiful master branch, it works. Beautiful development branch, it should work. And then you have your dirty status. It's when you are hacking on the project. During the hacking, normally nothing works. Okay, that's how it's expected to be. Well, it happens that the evil manager, that I like to call it like that, comes to you into exactly that moment. When you are in this dirty state, nothing works, he comes to you and, what are you doing? Tell me, show me. Okay, and you're not able to demo. And that, again, will crush his expectation. He has an expectation that is good, is not bad. He wants to see good things, the good things that you're doing, and you're not able to fulfill this expectation. And that's what causes problems between colleagues or like freelance customer relationship or stuff like that. So a trivial, simple solution is you clone your project in 2 folders. One folder you work on it. The other folder you keep your latest stable commit, always ready to, start the application and show the application. It cannot be more simple. Okay, you can clone one repository multiple times. Being able to demo, it's a simple way to do not betray the expectation of something else, of somebody else. Last, but the most important of the suggestion that I can give you tonight is to create bugs and to release bugs. Actually, take a bug and carry it into production environment. And be careful that your customer will meet your bug. Is it crazy? Do you think it's crazy? It is not. Again, I have an explanation for that. Expectations. If you are a good developer, a way too good developer, and you don't release bugs, what is the expectation that you are growing into your customers, into your colleague, into your boss? You grow the expectation that you are fucking awesome. And that's not true because you are human. Sooner or later, you will fuck up. You will release a horrible bug, okay? So, what is a bug? It's basically an illness of software. And what human beings invented is vaccine, okay? We inject ourselves like mild version of an illness, so to train our body to work it out. Bugs are the very same things. We can introduce simple, controlled bugs, which we have the antidote, really easy, quick to solve. We let somebody else face the bug. We let somebody else fill a bug report. and you will receive the bug report, what do you do in that moment? You will handle it. You will handle it quickly. You will handle it with a really cool, self-control way, and you will create an expectation that you are human as everybody else, you fuck up as everybody else, you accept that you do that, you take ownership on your own fucks up, and you solve it. Okay, and that's the way you can grow a stronger image of a good developer with your peers. That's for the bugs. And we are close to the end. So I would like to bring back the question that I had in the beginning. Perceived performances. Wooden skateboard from the past. Floating skateboard from the future. And we said that this is faster. This gives you a better user experience. Okay, is still your opinion? There is one single thing that I didn't tell you about user experience, which is how do we use an application. Something can be extremely good, something can be extremely bad, still we are using it. A smart guy that uses a horrible solution can be efficient. A not very smart guy that uses the best possible solution cannot be efficient. A lot is on us. A lot depends on how we face the tool, the application, the user experience. So look at this. They're going at the same speed. There's totally no difference. This is the old one. There is friction. There is all the possible problems, and this is floating. But Michael J. Fox is using the skateboard with the same interface. He's pushing the skateboard forward. So it doesn't really matter how he uses it. There's no difference. Okay, so even if we perceive this to be the old crap and this to be the new cool things, the way we use the tool, the way Martin here uses the tool, doesn't change the perceived experience that he has at the end. Okay, so that was my talk for you about perceived performances. Thank you.